All right, welcome, Fam Bam, to another empowering episode of Talking Business with Ritz. Today, we are diving into a deeply personal and transformative journey as we explore how to be a participant in your own recovery after stroke. Okay, get ready for an enlightening episode as we get to know our guests on a deeper level in the Know the Expert segment, where we'll explore the types of where we'll going to um, explore how our guest mind works and who she is in a deeper level. All right. And then we're going to also dive deep into the learn from the experts, where she's going to share with us some insights about her topics and also know how we can collaborate with our guests in the work with the experts. So stay tuned for an insightful and more insights on navigating stroke survival, finding balance, and triumphing over adversity. So let's embark on this life affirming journey together. All right. Okie dokie. So before we dive into the valuable insights that our guest is about to provide, let's remember the essence of the show to our wonderful fam bam of coaches, course creators, consultants, experts, and social and service providers. Talking Business with Ritz is about revealing the person beyond the title. We celebrate the authentic stories and valuable lessons we gain from one another's experience and how we can actually take advantage of their expertise. All right, now this show is where we break down barriers and shed light on the secrets of entrepreneurial success. Okay, so for those who are watching us now, kindly comment hashtag live, prepare your questions if you have some, and engage. All right, for those who are going to catch up on replay, do comment hashtag replay, and yes, type in your comments if you have some, so that our guest will be able to reply to them. All right, now our guest expertise is about helping individuals overcome challenges and embrace victories, especially after a stroke. So our topic today is, different, all right, from our previous episode, but I find it important to know as well, because we're not getting any younger people. All right. Now, she is a compassion coach and self care and time management mentor. She is here to talk about topics that will encompass how to be a participant in your own recovery after stroke. So, without much ado, let's welcome, where's my welcoming committee? Let's welcome my guest, Coach Karina Lemire.
Thank you for having me, Ritz. I love it. Thank you.
Did I
Yes, I'm
pronounce
glad
your
you were close. It's Lemire. It's very francophone.
Lemire? Okay,
Lemire.
Lemire.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for coming here with us. Uh, would you like to, yeah, say hello to our
Of
audience?
course. I'm just waiting. Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. Yes, you said it right. It is not the typical subjects that you address in your normal show. However, you're right. It is so important to address it, and I think that it's important before we get to the now. You need to know where I came from, and
All right, I'm
why
gonna
I
give you
ventured
that.
into health.
Yes, I'm gonna give you the stage for that. All right, let us do that. All right, now let's move on to our first segment. Let me just flash the segment title here. Oh no, sorry, where is it? Ah, yes, it is. No, the expert. All right, now
You are
welcome to the
so
no. Yeah,
you are
welcome. To,
so well.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I applaud you for your work and your organization and how professional the whole thing is. I love it. I love your
Oh, thank you,
enthusiasm.
thank you very much, thank you very much. So anyway, welcome to the Know the Expert segment. I'm trying to segmentize the show so that later on we can repurpose accordingly because I'm this the video, all right, that we are having now um can be repurposed, or you can have it if you want it, right? And then you can repurpose it according to us how you want it. All right, so
Mm,
let's start again.
okay.
Welcome to the Know the Expert segment. Here's where we unravel the unique side of our guest with some intriguing random questions. But before that, let's
Mhm.
set up the stage and get to know her as she tells us who she is, what she does, who she serves, and why is she here in Talking Business with Ritz. So, all right, Coach Karina, it's your moment to
Yeah.
shine. All right, I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
step. Yes, I'm gonna step backstage, give you a minute. All right, in the spotlight, and I'll be back. I'll be back after 1 minute. Alrighty.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, here
Thank
we go.
you.
Here we go. Here we go.
So I am a brainstem dissection survivor as well as coma and lectin syndrome. And as well as a multi generational trauma survivor. So I think that part of me, that story of me, is what makes me a great coach and what brought me here in my business. I'm 50 years old right now, and I have a 26-year-old. I am in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and I am just excited to be here, share my story, share the empowering and the strategies and the techniques that help me come to this point of my life that I'm about to share with you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that, Coach. So here we go. Now for my first question. All right. Let me just change the
Yes.
angle of our camera. Here we go. All right. Now, what is your favorite word and why? Let's start with that.
I love it. Favorite word is opportunity.
Opportunity. Why?
Because everything is an opportunity if we turn it into one. And sometimes we think that bad things are happening without realizing that maybe it is not meant to happen at this moment. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe you are meant to make it happen, either or, and when you
Yeah.
think about it, if you look inside of a flower, there's plenty of little seeds inside. Each one of those seeds has the possibility to bloom into a flower or to dry up,
Yeah.
right? So I see it that way. So I love opportunity and possibility are very close knit.
All right. Okay. Now, from the scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the highest, how unique or weird are you?
11.
Gotcha.
No, I'll go with a 10. I'll go with a 10. Sometimes I'm a 7, but you know what? My quirkiness is what makes me unique.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
think it's all good. I think it's all good.
All right, 7 or 10. So, on
Yeah.
your opinion, yeah, on your opinion, What's the most challenging aspect of being an entrepreneur that people might not realize?
I think that it is, you don't realize how much time you put into it, how much effort you put into it, because it becomes part of you. To be an entrepreneur becomes part of you, and your brain is constantly going and going.
Mm,
But it can be very tiring, not just physically, but mentally.
mm-hmm,
You have to be prepared. If you're going to be in business, you have to be prepared and know what you're getting yourself involved in. And if that purpose is big enough, you won't mind. You are going to do it.
right. All right. Now, how do you handle moments of self doubt or uncertainty in your entrepreneurial journey? How do you handle that?
I think that I handle it by looking at others. I do have my down moments. I do. And I do have my doubt moments where I
Mm-hmm,
think, should I even be doing this? Is it really worth it? But the fact that I'm asking myself, is it worth it, is worth it. But we're lucky that we have Facebook and we have different platforms. So when I'm down, I go and I look at other people such as yourself, and I say, if she can make it, why can't I? I have
yeah,
some I have something to show, I have something to see, I have something to talk about. I want to help. It's part of me, right?
right.
So you guys out there in the social world are really bringing me up. When I'm down, you guys keep me straight.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't
Mhm.
know that. I mean, I didn't realize that I'm
Yeah,
making an impact, even
you
just a little.
are.
All
You
right.
are.
Now, thank you. Now, next question would be, what's your personal mantra or quote that keeps you motivated in both life and business?
Hmm. Well, it is not a mantra. The very first one I think that I thought about many, many moons ago
Mm-hmm.
is rather a small statement. I
Yep.
was told, if the pain of remaining the same is greater than the pain of change, you will change. And I had to list because it is a mouthful, right? So I had to say it slowly and write it down and analyze it. And that really like propelled me to want to change and want to go into business and want to help and want to venture out. So my that and my mantra that I would say that I like, we can call it a mantra, is
Mm-hmm.
I'll make it happen, and if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, it's not meant to be.
If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't want to come across as being constantly looking for but I am an optimist. I had so much negative in my life that now
Mm-hmm.
I'm switching the script, and everything is an opportunity, and everything can be positive. And if it's
Mm-hmm.
not, it's because it's not meant to be.
Yes. All right. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh la la. Other than drink more water, one piece of advice would be, give yourself time. Be patient. My younger self was way less patient than I am now, because
Mm-hmm.
now I'm guessing I'm a little bit older and wiser, and I know that good things come to those who wait, but when I was younger I wanted it right away.
Yeah. Go
So
getter.
yeah,
Yeah.
be patient, take your time.
Good advice. All right. Now, describe your perfect vacation destination and what you'd be doing there.
Oh, I love that. Yes. My perfect destination would be somewhere not on the beach, believe it or not. I love hiking and walking. I love the idea of going to Peru to walk on the
Peru.
trails, and I like the history behind Peru. Just
Mm-hmm.
like I love Costa Rica for the foliage, le
Yeah.
feuillage, the
Mm-hmm.
foliage, and the
Yeah.
monkeys, of course, and the
Okay.
trails. Yes, yes. So I need to be active on vacation. I need to be active.
All
I'm not the
right.
type to just lie on the beach. Yeah,
You're different. Most of the
I
people I
told
ask, they
you.
want to go on the beach.
No, no. I prefer the pool to a beach.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I prefer
Is there a
pool to a
reason?
beach. I'm sorry.
Is there a reason why you prefer pool than a beach?
Yes, there is. There is now a physical reason. It's because when I go on the current,
Hmm.
if I go into the water because of my equilibrium after my stroke,
Ah.
I lose balance a lot, and it's more frustrating than anything else. I will stay on the beach, but I will walk for miles. I can't just lie there for an hour. I can't. Or a whole day. I can't. Yeah.
All right, that's understandable. Okay. Next question. So, beyond your amazing work as a compassion coach, right? What do you do when you are not working aside from going on a trail walk? What else do you
Well,
do?
um, I do have a little dog. So
Huh?
I go, I my best friend lives close by. So we have walks. We end up being 10 people walking our dogs. I love going to the coffee place and just chit chat. And I'll admit, I'm always like at the beginning of my interview, I had mentioned that being an entrepreneur, you're always thinking.
Yeah, true.
Your brain is constantly, I should, oh, wow, that's a great idea. I should do that next time, right?
Yeah.
So I always have my phone with me, and I'm always on social media because, like you, my work is on social media. I feed with the people on social media, that such as yourself, that give me the energy, but also my clients are on social media as well.
Hmm.
So I'm not the reading type. I love to watch YouTube videos. Lisa
Yeah.
Michaels, no, Lisa Nichols. Sorry, Lisa
Yeah.
Nichols is also an empowering, very very empowering speaker.
Mm.
I love watching on YouTube, TEDx, and stuff like that. If not, I'm
Mm.
on Netflix.
Netflix. Yes.
I have to schedule time off to allow myself to really go. I need to schedule myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Schedule yourself. I do the same to unwind.
Really?
But when
Okay,
yeah,
good.
when I unwind, I have to go out with the mask on.
Yes. Yes. And going out is one thing, but I'm starting to enjoy being at home. I love gardening.
Yeah.
I love plants. I love flowers. I love to cook. So I'm always doing something like that. So if I might be listening to a TEDx and watching a TEDx, but I'm cooking at the same time.
Wow.
I'm always doing something at the same time.
So you, all
Yeah.
right. Now, as a compassion
I like to
coach,
multitask.
yes, that is the missing word. Yes, you're a multitasker. All right. Now, as a
I'm
compassion
a
coach,
multitasker.
yes. So, as a compassion coach, what's one habit that you've developed that you think has contributed to your success as an entrepreneur?
I think it's listening and then having compassion. Listening
Mhm.
with the heart, not just hearing with the ears, but listening with the heart. And really not absorbing what the other person might be saying, but
Mm-hmm.
really put yourself in their shoes. I put myself in their shoes. So yeah, that is something, that's a habit that I developed that is very important, especially when
All
you're a
right.
compassion coach.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now, last question, Coach Karina. What's
Mhm.
one thing that people might be surprised to learn about you or your business?
People are surprised to learn. People in my entourage, people around me are surprised to know that I am not a 9 to 5 girl. I do have a full-time job, and I maintain this as well, because being an entrepreneur, I make my own schedule and I make
Mm-hmm.
myself available. Like I said, I like to multitask. So I make
Yes.
myself available for my clients when they need me. I give them a block. This is what I do. If not, I rearrange. But yeah.
Yeah. Same here. I'm still on my 9 to 5. All right. Now,
Sorry.
yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Now, in the next 2 minutes, I want you to talk us through how you've started as a compassion coach, self
Okay.
care, and time management mentor.
Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Well, thank you for that. Yes. In order to understand where I am now as a
Mm,
compassion coach, you need to know why I ended up there. And I always knew that my life was meant to be something from a young age. I always knew that. I was never much into school because I was on a survival mode most of my life. And then I started working. I got married very young for a long time. Um, and once I had the stroke, I just knew in my heart I couldn't write after the
mhm.
stroke. Like I said, I was in a coma, in a locked-in syndrome. I couldn't write, I couldn't think, I couldn't speak well, I couldn't walk well, I couldn't do. But I knew I wanted to write a book because I had a story to tell. I believe that everybody is a survivor of something. That is very important. I am no different than anyone else. I'm no better than anyone else. I may be different, but I'm not better. And we all are survivors of something. Some people grieve. Some people are survivors of losing a loved one, of losing a pet, of losing their job that they really like, of losing their first love. And in my case, I'm a survivor of, like I said, multiple generational traumas, and a stroke survivor.
Wow.
In 2021, um, I was tired of seeing specialists of specialists, going to social workers and psychologists. And after my stroke, having been in PT and OT, speech therapy, and all that, I was just tired of the whole thing. And I had all this traumatic baggage behind me that was beautiful now, right? I saw it
Mm,
as being a beautiful trauma. And what am I going to do with all this?
yeah.
So I decided to start a podcast. I said, I am no longer going to see professionals. I know what I have to do. And I know the professionals are there if I need them. But now
Yeah.
it's up to me to change my life and to hold the reins, if you will, hold the bull, you know?
Yeah.
And that resilience that you might be seeing right now has been a long time coming, from my childhood, from 6 years old to 2020, 2021. My
Yes.
resilience had been built. My childhood prepared me for my stroke. My stroke prepared me for this right now, you know? And that's why I say everything happens. Everything happens for a reason, or because it's meant to happen that way. So when I started my podcast, not only was I wanting to help myself, but I wanted to help everybody. I wanted to take all the other survivors' pain. I wanted to take it because I know what they're going through because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the girl you see now is not who I was 20 years ago. Is not how I looked 20 years ago. So, my goal for my podcast was purely to help one person around the world feel better about their situation, feel better about themselves, feel better about their new story, not be ashamed of everything, not keep everything hush hush. And
Mm.
true enough, 8 months after I launched my podcast became 8 out of 55, number 8 out of 55 in its category. I was as surprised as you. I did not expect that. It was a beautiful surprise. Sure enough, 6 months after that, I became number 7 worldwide.
Wow.
And now I am maintaining number 6. So that to me is validating. Thank you. Thank you. That is validating that what I'm doing is, in fact, helping people.
Yeah.
And while I'm helping others, I really am empowering myself. I listen to myself. I listen to my show with the ears of a listener, asking myself, would I like to hang out with that girl? Would I like to talk to her? Is she the type of person I would like to be with?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I adjust consequently. And I think I'm pretty cool. I am quirky, but I think I'm pretty cool. And I also, as I became a as I'm becoming at that point a compassion coach,
Uh-huh.
I really wanted to change the script, like I said, the script of stroke survivors in their minds and in their lives. There is a prior life, and then there's an old Karina and a new Karina.
Mm-hmm.
And now I am merging the two. Today, I'm merging the two. But stroke survivors think that life is over, that
Yeah.
they are doomed, that life is over. And it's so not true. It's so not true. And I'm the proof. So I really want to empower and give hope that there is life to live after stroke,
All
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
And then as I'm doing that, I have stroke survivors asking me questions on their survival and how they need help on accepting. How did you do that, Karina? How do I do it? And then I started anchoring myself into my person that I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
I also had caregivers asking me. I'm the husband of a stroke survivor, and when she does this, it's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And I had to think of my then husband, bless his soul. Like, that's where the compassion came. Really, the word compassion,
Mm-hmm.
he did show me so much compassion. And I was such not a nice person back then. And I have so much respect for caregivers and understanding and compassion. And it just, and then everything just started moving. E- Everything I sent out to the universe, what I ultimately wanted was to help.
Mm-hmm.
And things started shifting in my life. When I thought that my childhood was kind of like having a stroke and being in my bed, not doing anything, and I thought that my childhood had scarred me and made me not be able to live anymore,
Mm-hmm.
it actually helped me become who I am now.
Made you stronger. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So, Do I keep going, Ritzel?
Yeah. So until the time that you are now a compassionate and a
Okay.
compassion
So in 2020, so that was then. In
coach.
2020, I started my life, a whole new life, a whole new
Yeah.
life for myself by myself. And I took an NLP course, neuro linguistic programming. I
Mm-hmm.
always had an attraction for that. And as I'm doing the course, I'm learning that a lot of the strategies that were taught to me in therapies came from that. And
Ah,
yeah, it came from that.
in-
So that ignited something in me. Exactly. That ignited, and everybody was pretty much coaches of something in the course. So I was in the coaching industry now, and it was exciting. It was exciting. So I started coaching more and more. And I actually did it full time for a little while, just to really soak myself into it,
immersion.
submerge myself,
Yeah.
immerse myself, yes, to see if I was really at the right place. So now I'm helping people, I'm helping survivors, I'm helping people around the world, and I help people here on Zooms, and I have appointments, and everything just started happening. So I can discuss anything with my clients. I can discuss anything that is pertinent to them, anything
Mm.
that they need as far as personal growth, as far as maybe clarity on what the next step is, on toxic free living. Toxic free living. We live in a world full of toxicity, not just
Yeah.
people, of things,
Yeah. Yeah.
and of course, mindset. The mindset is huge, and you have to have the will. So I can discuss anything with my clients, anything pertinent to them. Yeah.
All right. So that's
And
that's when you became that's when you became a compassion coach.
that's when I knew that's what I wanted, and that's what I'm
Uh,
doing. Yes. Yeah. I
so
told you
until
I
this
had a
moment.
journey.
Yes, yes. You're
I
gonna
had a
you're gonna tell
journey.
us more.
I had a
Yes,
whole.
you're going to tell
I'm
us more
sorry,
on that.
I didn't hear you.
No, there's a something like a
Now or
delay
in?
on our part. Yeah.
There is a delay. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna what do you call that? We're going to talk more about your topics, the three topics that you've shared with me in the no learn from the experts. So we'll try to
Yeah.
close this segment first. All right.
Yeah.
So thank you, Coach Karina, for being such a good sport.
Thank
So
you.
by now, our audience, we already have an idea of who Coach Karina Lemire is as a real person. So this concludes this first segment of our show. All right. All righty. Hello, Pambam. Welcome to the exciting part of the show. Learn from the expert. For those who are just tuning in, this is Ritzo Loreto Rectra, your host for today. I am a
Mhm.
content creator and process automation specialist, and I am also the CEO and owner of Mighty Chill Virtual Solutions. Joining me today is Coach Karina Lemire, who is a
Mhm.
compassion coach, self care, and time management mentor. All right, now, um, where am I now? All right. And she'll be sharing her wisdom on how to be a participant in your own recovery after stroke. So, ladies and gentlemen, my pam bams, let's talk business. All right. Now, most of us are in the stage where we are not getting any younger, right? And yet, we
Mm.
worry about so many things in life. So, our topic for today is not just another topic, it's about hope, resilience, and taking charge of your health journeys. Imagine facing the challenges of life after a stroke. It's a path filled with uncertainty, but it's also a path where you can regain control and flourish. Now, sometimes it's not just about the stroke itself, but about the
No.
emotional baggage we carry from our family's past. By understanding this connection, you can approach your recovery journey with a fresh perspective with the help of our guest today. So we understand that this journey might feel overwhelming, of course, but remember, Pam Bam, you're not alone. By the end of this
No.
show, you'll have insights, strategies, and renewed hope to take those steps towards a brighter, healthier future. All right,
Yeah.
without much ado, this insight, could be the key to a more resilient and holistic healing process. So let's jump to our first topic. Here we go. I'm flashing it on the screen. Coach Karina, our topic for today,
Mm.
the first one would be navigating stroke survival, generational traumas, role, and recovery. So, how does
Yes.
generational trauma influence a stroke survivor's mindset during their recovery journey?
It's it's tricky but doable. It's not easy, but it's something that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Generational trauma varies from many things. I don't want to get into details, but we all know that generational trauma can be very small or very big. You have the choice to either pity yourself, poor me, or you keep going and you use that to fuel your future.
Mm-hmm.
And stroke is I compare having a stroke to a tornado,
Tornado.
where the survivor, yes ma'am, where the survivor is the eye of the tornado. But what happens when there's a tornado? There's winds and debris and everything is flying around, right? So if the
Right.
stroke survivor is the eye of the tornado, you have the families and friends and lack of money and lack of work and generational trauma mixed into that, and everything is disheveled. So if you really sit back and think about it, it can all work together if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, like I said, it's not easy, but it's doable. To navigate it, it's like navigating a plane. It's not easy, right? It's very
Right.
big. It's there's so many buttons, and it's not easy to keep it straight and leveled. But you need to practice. That's why they have so many hours flying time. They practice until they make it, right? You fake
Right.
it until you make it. You take everything and you find your own pathways. Navigating as a stroke survivor and a trauma survivor is really navigating it like this, weaving in and out. It's up and down. It's never straight and narrow. But you have the choice: sit and do nothing, or navigate and try.
All right. Now, can you provide a specific example of how a family history can impact an individual's response to a stroke, both emotionally and psychologically?
Well, I'm definitely not a doctor or a psychologist. I speak from my own personal experience. And we know that just trauma by itself, any kind of trauma, can lead to depression and any kind of mental health problems.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you add a stroke, and if you're already in a depressive state and you add the stroke effects, you're amplifying. That is
Mm-hmm.
where you have to have a strong mindset. And that is where I shoulder my clients, and I'm with them the whole time, because it's so easy to fall into the patterns of others, or so, excuse me, so it's easy to be influenced by the outside life. So no matter how strong your mindset is, and you say, I am going to get through this stroke, and I am going to, like, I'm going to clean up my act, like what I did. I'm not any better than anyone else. I want to be clear on that. um, but it was my choice to do this way, and
Mm.
other people might choose differently, unfortunately. But if there's a slight will to work the two together to become a better you, that's a start.
All right. So, talking about the generational trauma, you want to understand better, right? So, are there common patterns or behaviors in stroke survivors with a history of generational trauma that can actually hinder their recovery process?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's when we have a stroke, we tend to feel like it's all about us and it's our
Mm-hmm.
fault for everything. And that is a normal stroke response. But it is also a normal trauma childhood trauma generational trauma response as well. So if you
Mm-hmm.
mix the two, it's going to be amplified, like I explained to you before. So now we're talking depressive states, mental wellness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you are previously a person, excuse me, if you are previously a person that also is quiet, introvert, you weren't
Yeah.
allowed to speak as a child, you know nothing. You're good for nothing. You know nothing. I'm exaggerating, but so now with the stroke, they already feel crap from their childhood or from X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So now they have something happens. You become either more introvert and you want to become invisible. Some people want to permanently become invisible. Really, it's a
Yeah.
fact. And some
Yeah.
people, I've never wanted to die. I wanted the pain to go away. In my lowest point, I never wanted to die. I wanted to sleep for 4 or 5 days in a row and wake up, if
Okay.
that was possible. Okay. Um, so, like I was saying, so either a survivor is going to become introvert more so than before,
Mm-hmm.
and in some cases, they take their place. And that's what I want. I want to encourage people, own your story, own your place in the world, speak up. That's what I want. And and then the stroke, there's psychological problems that happen with the stroke by itself. You can become slower cognitively,
Mm-hmm.
much slower.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes harder to understand what happened back then, what's happening now. So again, there's not one stroke that is the same. Different strokes for different folks,
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
you
Now,
know.
yeah. In addition to my question and to follow up with what you're explaining right now, so what strategies or any practices can help stroke survivors recognize and address this emotional baggage tied with generational trauma?
I love that question. I call it the 3 A's.
That is to the next topic. All right. All right. We'll
Okay.
discuss that to the next topic. All right. But I have one more
You
question.
asked me a strategy. You asked
Yes,
me for a
yes, yes.
strategy.
All
Absolutely,
right,
I
all
have.
right. That's the three A's. Okay, now let's. I'm gonna ask you this first. In a business context, now, how can a stroke survivor's awareness of general trauma positively impact their professional life and their decision making?
I believe that once you are aware, like for me, once I became so aware and I practiced the 3 A's on myself,
All
and
right.
I've done them over and over and over and over, all my baggage made me that much better of a coach. When you
Right.
add that and my training in NLP and my confidence, and I think that like I've told you at the beginning, it can be a beautiful thing if you want it to be.
All right. All right. Now, this is a beautiful segue to the next topic. So, when it comes to recovering after a stroke, finding balance is crucial, right? Now, imagine it like trying to stand
Yes.
on one leg after you've tripped. So, it takes effort and practice to stay steady. So, we now move to the next topic. And our coach Karina here will be answering our question earlier. And yeah, and she will be explaining what is this three A's of alignment mean and how they apply
Yes.
to stroke rehabilitation. All right, coach,
Yes.
take it away.
So, yes, my favorite. I call it the 3 A's of recovery because we
Mhm.
are all survivors. Remember? The
Yep.
first A is acknowledge, do not be in denial. You can fool everybody else in the room, you cannot fool yourself. You can
All
tell
right.
everybody, yeah. The second A is accept. The hardest and most common question I get and into wanting help is accepting. Strategies on accepting. That's a whole different subject. And the third one is action. Take action. So you acknowledge, you accept, and you take action. Taking action could be watching your show. That is taking an action. Watching your show. Someone is watching your show. Someone is watching a TEDx. Uh, it could be anything. And it's not just watching, but it's implementing. Implement what actions are. That's what taking action is. And before you mentioned a little bit of the pain body, I talk about pain body as alignment.
Mm-hmm.
I always mention how important, again, it I don't talk about something as a coach that I haven't tried myself many times. In alignment, we have the mind, the body, and the emotions.
Yeah.
If one of them is off whack, if one of them is unbalanced, such as you mentioned before, you lose balance. It, it's
Correct.
it's not working. Me personally, if I'm having a bad day, and they happen very rarely now, I think that I'm gaining control on that, but I still get when I had a bad emotional day. Excuse me. Because remember, I told you that trauma hurts the brain, right? And I'm not any different.
Yeah.
I have my crying spells. I have my doubting moments. So what happens is that my emotions, and then my head, so it's a vicious cycle. They all work together. If you think about it, if your back is like this and you're constantly massaging up here, you have a stiffness on your neck,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in your life right now? It could be also a tummy ache, but it's not a tummy ache from eating poisonous food, it's nerves.
Yeah.
You asked me effects before, symptoms. That's another big one. You're always hurting somewhere. What is going on in your life right now? Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that it's going on and accept it, because it's not going to change. It could, but it's not going to change immediately. And take action. Go for a walk
Mm-hmm.
outside, change your ideas, maybe drink water, talk to a friend. Don't seclude yourself. Maybe you just need to let it out. But the very first
Mm-hmm.
step is to acknowledge that pain that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. That those strategies are very basic. They're very basic. These, but they work. They work on every part of your body. Yeah.
All right. All right. So we've explored two topics, but before we jump into the third topic, let us acknowledge our viewers. We have one Mod Shafila. Okay, I hope I mentioned his name correctly. And we have a viewer. I think this is let me see, Zel de Guzman from the Philippines. All right, thank you for staying with us. Now we're jumping in the third topic. We'll delve into the incredible journey of stroke survivors who have faced numerous challenges head on, right? We'll explore how they've not only overcome physical obstacles, but also the emotional and mental hurdles that goes with stroke recovery. All right, let me just flash the third topic. Here we go. Conquering challenges and embracing victories after stroke. So, Coach Karina, let's talk about a
Mm.
personal story from your recovery that can inspire others both in health and in business.
Well, I think that first of all, even though it's 25 years post stroke, I can say, look at me now, right?
Mm,
I can walk, I can talk, I can eat, I can dance, I can do everything. If I can do it, so can you, you know? And the triumphs happen very small at the beginning. And that's where you also have to acknowledge, oh, that little thing. I just tied my shoes. It's nothing. It's something big for a stroke survivor. These are
yeah,
things that we take for granted. And after the stroke, everything becomes a huge triumph. So, again, generation, if back then you brought an A at home for your report card and it was never good enough because they wanted an A plus, your parents wanted an A plus.
yeah,
Example, okay? You are pumped, you are so proud of yourself, and so, but you diminish it because of that
expectation.
trauma from back then. Exactly, from back then. So now when you're tying or you're cutting your steak, it's it's a huge triumph for a stroke survivor, I guarantee you. So again, you have to acknowledge and congratulate yourself, and exactly triumph over adversity. The adversity is the stroke, is the physical and mental impairment, but you're
Mhm.
triumphing over. You keep trying, because repetition and consistency is the key. Repetition and consistency. Doing things once is not enough. You got to do it again and again and again. And I say that in my podcast as well. At first, you might take 5 minutes to tie your shoes. I'm not
Mhm.
kidding. I'm not kidding, Rizal. You might take 5 minutes, which requires a lot of patience from the stroke survivor and the caregiver as
Yeah.
well. And sometimes I have to be the mediator between the two, because I have been both. I have been the stroke survivor who took forever to tie her shoes. And I've also been a caregiver to someone very, very old and someone that had a stroke also. So I've done both. So it's important to congratulate yourself and see those little victories. Little becomes big.
Right. All right. Now, how does overcoming these challenges in stroke recovery really translate into building resilience? And how can this resilience help us or help everybody overcome
Mhm.
obstacle in their business?
Love that question. You know what? If you are capable to do it on a personal level, when your business starts getting tough or you have those doubting moments,
Hmm.
think of how far you've come as a stroke survivor and how far you can go into business. So they go hand in hand because you made it happen. You made your recovery and your survival happen. That is why the title says be a willing participant in your own recovery. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I can
Yeah.
talk to you until I'm blue in the face, and you can nod your head yes, but if you don't implement, and if you don't
Yeah.
practice, and if you don't try, it won't amount to anything.
Yeah.
But when you see you can do one, you know you can do the other. And when you get down, you know you'll get back up. It's it's a roller coaster. Life in
Yeah.
general is a roller coaster. You need the momentum of going down. You need that momentum of going down to go back up. It's logic
Yeah.
and science.
True. 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 Now, what mindset shifts or strategies have been most effective in helping stroke survivors embrace victories? And yeah,
I have to say the three A's
the three
is
A's.
right off, seriously, right off the bat, it is the pivot. It's a three-way pivot, this one. It's a three-way
Yeah.
pivot. But I often say that once you accept, you start changing. So they kind of go together. No, it's a two-way pivot. You acknowledge and then you accept and you make it work because this is your new reality. So when you start a business, that becomes your new reality as well.
Yeah.
You have to expect to put long hours. You have to expect to look for professionals like you to help. You have to expect and anticipate stuff like that to happen.
All right.
So again, if
So it's the three A's: acknowledge, accept, and action. All right. Now, all right,
absolutely.
everyone. All right, everyone. So as we wrap up this segment, let's reflect on the valuable information shared by our coach Karina here. Here are some of my takeaways as well in today's episode. On the first topic of navigating stroke survival, generational trauma's role in recovery, um, generational trauma can impact one's approach to stroke recovery, so as explained by our coach here. Or the second topic would be finding balance, the three A's of alignment for stroke rehabilitation. So we acknowledge, I'm just repeating, right? Then we accept, and then we action. Without those
Yes.
three, it's very difficult for us to actually be rehabilitated in after a stroke, right? It's very difficult for
Yes.
us to move on, right? Now for the third topic, which is triumph over adversity, where we conquer challenges and embracing our victories. Overcoming stroke challenges can build resilience and mindset shifts that translate to our personal and professional success. All right, it's not the end of the world, as Coach Karina had mentioned.
Nope. Nope.
All right. Now, if you came in late, fam bam, please watch the replay inside the group, Talking Business with Ritz, a live expert interview. Now, let's move on to the next segment, which is work with the expert, right? Work with the expert. where Coach Karina here will share her unique offers to help you with the how to become a participant in your own recovery after stroke.
Yes.
All right, all right. Let's move on to that. That segue. You can drink water while I show the
Okay.
segment. All right, here we go.
Oh, you're doing segments? Okay, perfect. I'll be right there. I'm looking
All
for
right.
something you sent.
All right, all right. Welcome to the Work with the Expert segment where we dive deeper in how you can apply the wisdom from today's discussion to your own life. Now, Coach Karina Lemire has generously shared insights into navigating stroke recovery, finding balance, and triumphing over adversity. Right now, it's time to explore how you can work directly with Coach Karina to accelerate your journey toward a healthier, more empowered life. So get ready for some exciting opportunities and offers she has prepared for our incredible Bambams. Coach Karina, could you tell us more about what offer you have for us today?
Yes, I'm very excited to offer this because it's a great value, both financial and personal value. We'll talk about that later, one on one with my clients. I would like to offer 6 weeks of personalized stroke recovery strategies. We talk about the 3A's. We start off with that. We talk about mindset. We talk about mindset strengthening, toxic free living, boundaries and limitations, everything you need to become a stronger survivor. And for the caregivers of stroke survivors, I would love to offer 4 weeks of self care and time management classes, meetings together, courses. I think that there is so much taxing effects on the health, the psychological health, and the physical health of caregivers
Mm-hmm.
and of our survivors that they need sometimes that just those little moments that they didn't think of, that they can incorporate that self-care into life. Because again, life doesn't stop when you're a stroke survivor. Life doesn't stop when you're a caregiver of a stroke survivor. You are still a person. So I'd
Yes.
like to offer that 6 weeks for stroke survivors, 4 weeks for caregivers. Very excited about this offer. Yeah.
All right, that sounds amazing, Coach Karina. I'm sure our Bambams here would love to know how they can get in touch with you and learn more about this offer. So where can they
I
contact you?
Yes. I'm going to be providing you the link to my Facebook group that is also connected to my podcast. It is called Stroke Surviving the Odds _ the pod page. Exactly. You have it on right now. It is SSTO _ the podcast. And you definitely can reach me more on the Facebook group because I'm more active in the community there. But I will get in touch with you for sure.
Okay. Anywhere
Yes.
can they can we show your Facebook personal profile so they can directly contact you?
Of course. Of course. Of course. Yes.
So here it
Yeah.
is, Karina that Lemire, right? This is your you
Yeah.
can DM her if you have
Exactly.
questions. Yeah, if you have questions that you cannot put here in the show, it's quite personal, then you can yeah, DM her if you have questions. All right.
And I'm also
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, go ahead.
sorry, I forgot to mention that I'm also always giving. If someone wants to communicate with me, uh, just to ask a question like that, it's my pleasure to help whoever I can help or give little pointers. I have people that I have full conversations with, and some people just ask me one post. They ask me something, I respond, and that's it. So it's my pleasure to do that as well. And my phone is always on, so you can reach me 24 hours a day.
All right. Wonderful. Now, before we wrap up, Coach Karina, do you have any personal advice or final words of wisdom you'd like to share with our Bambams, with our audience?
The longer you wait to recuperate from both generational trauma and stroke, the longer you wait, you're suffering needlessly. You don't need to be hurting that much. Really, you don't. So don't wait. Contact me.
All right. That's such a wonderful, valuable advice, Coach Karina. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Now, I'm sure our audience gained so much valuable knowledge from you today. I would like, again, I would like you to remind them once more about your exciting offers that you have prepared for them.
Yes. So, for my stroke survivors out there, I have 6 weeks of personalized stroke recovery courses that we work together. And I have 4 weeks of, help me out.
Caregiver.
I have four
Or,
weeks here of, yes, of time management and self care for our caregivers
yeah. All right.
that
And
we
you can contact
personalize, of
her.
course.
All right. And you can contact her through DMs here at Karina.Lemire or join her Facebook groups
Absolutely.
typing the ads, the pop
Yeah.
page. All right.
Yes.
Let me then remove this one. All right. So before we wrap up today's incredible episode, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to you, Coach Karina, for being here with us today and sharing your expertise. Would you
Thank
like to say
you.
your yeah, would you like to say your goodbye to our fan bams here?
I'm just very excited. I'm just very excited to be here with you and to let the word out, let my story out. And if I can help one person feel better about their situation, their life situation, I'm happy.
All right. All right. To my Bam Bams, as our time draws to a close, all right, I want to leave you a thought. All right. Remember, you have the power to be a participant in your own recovery, no matter what challenges you
Oh,
face.
yeah.
Right? Your journey is unique and every step counts. So keep believing in your strength. The journey doesn't end here, it's just the beginning. Take baby steps to move your needle forward, even just a little. So,
Yes.
thank you for being part of the Talking Business with Ritz
Thank
community.
you.
All right, our next episode promises to be equally enlightening and empowering. We will bring you another extraordinary expert to help you on your path to success. So mark your calendar Saturday 11 a.m. EST again on September 9th. So if you are watching at the other side of the world, that would be the opposite. That will be at 11 p.m. All right, so keep the fire of curiosity burning, bam bams, and join us again on for the next episode of Talking Business with Ritz. So until then, let me just get on and prepare my outro. All right. Until then, stay tuned, stay motivated, stay focused, stay safe and healthy, everyone. This is Ritzel Loredo Rectra and our coach, Karina Lemire.
Yeah.
See you next time. Keep chasing your dreams. All right. And keep talking business with Ritz. Bye.